What's up, crypto trader Mitch here, and I wanted to do this video about 8 hours ago, but unfortunately, snow in New York delayed my travels back home for quite some time. So I'm just finally in front of my machine now, and we are down today in most cryptos, and essentially the new day has technically started in regard to UTC time, which is what I keep my charts on since the crypto market's open 24/7. So, I wrote a post about this on Steemit when I kind of noticed moves that we're seeing again, except for they're not completed yet, and it gave me an idea of what the downside could be. So, if you think that this is the end of the sell-off, you're probably wrong. Here's the thing. We could bounce at any time. No one knows where an exact bottom is going to be. If you think you can pick exact bottoms and tops, I guarantee you in the long run you are not going to make money, especially trying to pick tops. So I want to show you something. You see on the screen I got a chart of an Ethereum. I actually wanted to block out what crypto it was because it really doesn't matter. But I dialed back the chart to this summer, and you'll see that we get this, when this move starts, like slow move up, we get an aggressive up move, pull back, and then we essentially go parabolic, right? An unsustainable pace. Tops out, gives that upper wick, tops out, pulls down, gives the first real bounce, and then what happens from there? So I want to point this out because see this? This is pretty much what we got in December in a lot of cryptocurrencies. If you look at Bitcoin and Litecoin and several other coins, this is what it looks like. Big move up, aggressive move starts, pull back, we go parabolic. Then pull back, bounce, oh, the pullback's done, but no, it turns. So now what happens? Where did we go from here? If we pull the chart forward, look what happened. We essentially gave back almost the entire move. The move started around 100, move up, like I said, pull back, nothing's crazy yet, and then boom, we more than double in a matter of what? 2 weeks? And then boom, pull back, sell off, all right, cool, 50% retracement, bounce, that's it? We're going to go back higher? No, we sell off and we give back almost the entire move. It comes back to here, look, and that's funny, look, this is where that first pullback was when this move started. We got a reversal candle. This essentially becomes a price point and a possible support, and look where we bottom out. Pretty much right there, just below, obviously, this price action here. So, clear price point to look out for when you have a downside. Now, obviously, when we're up here and up here, this seems like a very extreme downside target, but it still needs to be on your radar. And the bottom line is, if we look at what's going on now, this same action, this same price point, pretty much on what is an 80% retracement, 75-80% retracement, is viable and in the crosshairs right now of cryptos, especially like Bitcoin. So let's take a look. I'm going to bring up Bitcoin, and I'm going to go to current, where we're at now. So if you watched any of my prior videos, you'll know that I talked about some support and resistance, and we got the uptrend line. Well, guess what? After bouncing along it, we finally broke it, and we broke it on a pretty decisive candle. And so far, Bitcoin's trying to bounce a little bit on this new candle that is only about an hour and a half old. Now, take a look. Does this look familiar? You got regular uptrend, right? Then all of a sudden, we get aggressive move, consolidation, and then boom, parabolic. Pullback, push to highs, and then finally the sell-off. We get our first bounce, and what has happened? It failed, and now we have pushed lower. We have closed below this bounce. So now where's the downside target? Well, down here is very feasible because the bottom line is we went parabolic. After we hit 10K, we went parabolic. Look at this, vertical, especially these two candles, insane. big body up candle with a huge upper wick, which led to a pullback. And then we actually got a second leg up. This move actually is rare, this second push like that, but we got it. So now the sell-off could be accelerated even further since we got extra extended. But the bottom line is, if you don't think that 10K is a downside possibility, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, the bottom line is, if we get down to 10K, the question is, are you going to be freaking out and looking to sell out and take a loss? Or are you going to be in a position where you can buy, where you can take advantage of those prices? Bottom line is, I'm waiting. I'm not touching Bitcoin in terms of new purchases until we get down to 10K and possibly even 8, if it retraces 100% the whole entire move. Obviously, I don't want to see that. Obviously, it's not a high probability of that happening, but it's on the radar, and you need to be prepared. You need to make these decisions before the price gets there. So we may never see 10K, we may never see 8K, but you already need to decide in advance what you're going to do if we get to 10K and what you're going to do if we approach 8K. Because this is the reality. Where do you see the next clear support? Maybe where we launched, when we went parabolic here at 11 and change, 11.7? Could be. I mean, we had that spike, which this is Coinbase, and this didn't happen on any other exchange. It was more so up above 12 where it happened. So, I mean, we get below 11.7, where are we going? Probably 10. That's the last consolidation. And look at this, last consolidation support, 8.2, 8.3. Got to be prepared for these things. So, as much as I want to see us reverse, I think the path of least resistance right now is to the downside. I know that's not what anyone wants to hear, but honestly, I'm looking forward to it because I want to have an opportunity to buy Bitcoin lower. And obviously I'm using Bitcoin as the example, but it's not just Bitcoin. Take a look at Litecoin, same thing. What do we do? Parabolic. Bounce, move. It didn't, look at this, on the pullback, we didn't even really get much of a bounce. It was one day and then down we go. It is perfectly feasible for Litecoin to get down to 150, which is pretty much the last little hiccup before it went parabolic. Downside of 150. Feasible. And you know what? If it gets down to 150, that's when I'll look to buy some. As of now, I'm just going to hold my position. I'm not worried about giving back paper profits. I mean, I have prices, well below 100 from being in Litecoin from early in the year. But I never was adding up here. Why would I add? I'm not going to add here. This is insane. You get the two parabolic candles. Look at this. Straight line up, huge upper wick, closes. That is the clear signal for me not to buy. If it keeps somehow going, that's fine. I'll ride what I have. You don't buy the top of breakouts. And who can? And here's the thing. Even if it ends up being a positive gain, why get a bad price? And why have to sweat all this before it rallies? I'd rather buy down here. Or I'd rather wait until it gets to the price points I'm targeting. I don't know. Whatever. I hope I don't sound like I'm being rude, so to speak. But we got to be smart about this. Don't chase. Buy good price levels. I mean, they're on the chart. And here's the thing. Everything is probabilities. There's no guarantee that we're going to go back up to 350, 360. There's no guarantee we're going to go down to 150. And there's also no guarantee that we're not going to go all the way back down to 100. All these scenarios are on the table. So just know what you want to do when those scenarios happen, if they do. All right? So all I'm saying is path of least resistance right now is to the downside. This sell-off may not be over. And I'm curious to see what Monday will bring, since it'll be the first day of 2018. I don't know if a lot of people will wait into 2018 to take some positions off and book profits and then essentially punt their tax concerns for a full year, because really it's all still up in the air despite, I guess whatever clarity we have had in regard to taxes in the U.S. and it being taxed as property, so to speak. I still think there's a lot of gray area with that. and I wouldn't be surprised if people are doing that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope we rebound. I hope we rally. But if we sell off into Monday, that would not surprise me at all. And who knows? Maybe that'll be the capitulation. The bottom line is usually when you have a large sell off, you don't get a real turnaround until you have some kind of capitulation, some hard high volume sell off. It's no different with when an up move reverses. I mean, you see it. You see it here. Look, we have this huge candle on the biggest volume we've seen, pretty much for half a year. Huge candle, and then the wick. Look at that. That's exhaustion. That is the buyers making their last big run and essentially just totally, blowing out everything they got. Boom, done. So we probably need to see something similar. Like this crazy candle here, it didn't have much volume. I want to see a candle like this, but I want to see the volume up. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there. Be careful, be prepared. This sell-off may not be done in crypto. We may see, 75% retracement of the moves we saw in the first few weeks of December when we essentially just went, completely vertical on many of the charts. So be prepared, and so you're good to go into the new year. All right, I'll have another video with as the action unfolds over the next 48 hours. Happy New Year.